Hey guys, it's JW, and I'm at my familiar location at the elementary school. And I got about 5 or 6 minutes before I have to get out of the car. And it's pretty cold up here on the New Hampshire border. Temperature-wise, I think it's like 45 degrees, but it's really breezy today, and I'm guessing the wind chill is probably around 30, maybe in the 20s. So it's the first real cold day, and what is it, November 12th today, so that's actually not bad. We had a pretty good run of nice mild weather the past 2 or 3 weeks actually, and the only thing is up here anyway, and I know in other parts of the country folks can use rain as there's been even wildfires up here in New England and Massachusetts where I live. And the complex I live in has a lot of brush and woods in the area and right in back of my home. And so I'm rooting for some rain, but it has been pretty nice, the mild weather and the sunshine. But we need what we need, right? Got to get some of that rain to wet down the ground. And, there's a drought situation up here, as probably there are in lots of parts of the country. And it's unusual. We usually get a lot of rain up around here in October and early November. But, the weather's the weather. People tell me, it's global warming, it's climate change. I remember 50 years ago when I was in my 20s that, we'd have odd types of weather. In February it'd be like, 60 degrees. And, weather changes. I'm not saying climate change doesn't exist. I'm not saying that global warming doesn't exist, but I think people jump to conclusions when they're not warranted. And part of it, I think, is politicians operate on fear. Everything they do, they want to frighten you. When Trump got elected president, everyone's on saying he's going to take your freedoms away and he's going to lock people up who don't agree with him. And that's nonsense. It's not going to happen. Trust me. I mean, it's just not going to happen. That's just fear-mongering, and this is what they talk about on these talk shows. Like, again, I peruse YouTube. I don't watch any of this crap, but I'm a sucker for a laugh, I guess. And when I see clickbait says something like, the world is going to end according to The View, I got to jump on it, at least listen to what they have to say, right? And usually it's a type of video that's only 3 or 4 minutes long, so I'm not taking up a lot of my time. But, so, a lot of fear-mongering going on, and, it's probably the same with the global warming thing and all the rest of it. So I try not to concern myself with things. In fact, I make a point of not concerning myself with things that I don't have any control over, because it really doesn't make any sense. And I'm a big believer in the Stoic philosophy. In fact, if you know my channel, I do the Stoic meditation, the daily Stoic meditation every day. And it just makes so much sense because it's common sense. Everything that the old philosophers said was common sense. And today, I'm afraid common sense is not very common, is it? And I'm hoping that changes. Like I say on some of my videos, I'm impressed by some of the young kids. They seem smarter than their parents oftentimes, and certainly more aware of their surroundings and what's going on, I think, than even their parents are. And that's partly because parents of today are so pushed to the limit on, most of them, in addition to being a mom or a dad, they work full-time jobs, both parents, and it's a lot of changes in the society. And women have been working for many, many decades now, but I think it's a necessity now. I remember when I first noticed women working, it was usually because they wanted to live in a nicer house, or maybe go to on a nice vacation. So the women would work, and that the money they made would pay for the nice vacation or a down payment on a nicer house or whatever. But now it's they need to work just to put food on the table, and that's along with the husband's paycheck as well. So I do feel for them. I wish, in some respects, we had some of the old days back. You know, the old days weren't all good. You know, there was a lot of hardship back then, and technology has certainly made life easier, and along with, you know, a lot of other inventions that have taken place over the last, even since I've been around, for even the last 70, 80 years, there's been so much improvement in the quality of life in our society that, you know, so I'm certainly not one of these old-timers who says, oh, we got to go back to the old days. But some things in the old days were good. One paycheck could take care of a family, and they could live pretty comfortably in a nice home, not have to worry about putting food on the table, and the food was real. Unlike today, you know, you got to really be careful when you go to the supermarket. You don't know what you're buying. You don't know what's in the foods. And so, you know, it's just different times. But enough of my ranting about the old days, and I might as well head out and meet my charges and make sure they're okay. And as usual, it's always good talking to you folks. Talk to you soon.